indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So if there are 5 of us present today, first up is approval of the minutes. We have all the minutes from the budget workshops, August 6th, 7th, and 8th of 2024. Somebody can make a motion.
First of all, there were a couple of things that okay. On the page 8, second line, where it talks about development grants from edit, I think that should be an or. That edit or I'm
Second
sorry,
sentence from the top. Where you at, Larry?
from edit or food and beverage.
Very top.
Yeah, very top, second line.
Okay.
Is that right?
Oh, it's, okay, or, got it.
And then on page 12, at the bottom, I was assuming that it was a typo because it indicates that we would meet at 8 o'clock this morning,
Oh, yeah,
and I wasn't here at 8.
it was 9, that's typo.
With those changes, I would move the approval of the minutes for August 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Okay. We have a motion by Mr. Hessen, second by Mr. Cox. Any other discussion? All in favor, state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Then we have the regular council meeting minutes from September 17th.
Move for approval.
We have a motion from Mr. Wicker. Second from Mr. Wyeth. Any other discussion? All in favor, state so by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. With that, are there anybody here from the public that would like to speak about anything? Nope. Okay. Then we will open a public hearing for the Avon Washington Township Public Library bond proceeds additional appropriation. Is there anybody here that'd like to speak on that? This is just public comment, so.
She's public, but
I know, but yeah, so there is no, let the record show that there is nobody from the public that would like to speak about this additional appropriation. With that, we'll close the public hearing. All right, go ahead, Laurel.
I did want to say it is unlikely we will sell bonds this year, but we did build that into the process in case something happened with the market that we felt validity was warranted going ahead and selling bonds early.
So what do we need to, is this the resolution, this what we need to do for this?
She just handed me the resolution this morning, so you will,
You don't- it's not
yeah,
bad.
I handed it to Eric.
So this is a resolution of the Hendricks County Council approving the Avon Washington Township Public Library issuance of bonds. I guess we need anything else?
Document, do you have a document on the additionals, or does it cover?
There was no document on the additional appropriation. I didn't receive anything from Jane on that. It does talk about it in the resolution.
Add on the appropriation part of it. First part?
That's what needs, when we do it, that is a resolution.
Wow.
It's up to you. No one's got that in their packet or hasn't seen it ahead of time. What's your timing on that?
To actually sell the bonds.
For that resolution to be adopted?
I don't think there's a time limit. We just have to do it before we sell the bonds.
It may be well, if that's the case, we might table that until our November meeting, so we have an opportunity to look at that.
Because you're in no hurry. You're in no hurry with the bonds and that's,
Architects are in a hurry, but I'm not in a hurry.
yeah.
So I'll move to table.
Okay, we have a motion
Second.
from Mr. Hessen, second from Mr. White to table the resolution for the issuance of bonds and the additional appropriation.
Yeah, they're two separate acts, so you're approving to approve the appropriation of the proceeds of the bond.
So we have to approve the
So
sale
the-
of first, so we can't do either one of those.
Right.
So we'll continue both of those. So your motion to continue both of
Yes,
them.
yes.
The motion was continue both of them. All in favor, say so by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Maybe the T-bill will come down some.
Thank you, ladies. Hendricks County Economic Development Partnership, CF1s. Okay,
Table to next.
table to next meeting. New business, adoption of the Hendricks County 2025 budget ordinance 2024-43. Because we had a public hearing on it, didn't we, last meeting?
Yes, public hearing was last meeting, this is the adoption.
Does anybody have any questions?
This is for Hendricks County Recycling,
Yeah.
right?
Lynn, did you want to talk?
This is just part of the process. Our board approved what you have in front of you in July, but it doesn't take action by the council to fully adopt it. This budget's pretty standard, status quo, not any real big plans for 2025. So,
That motion approved?
We have a motion to approve the Hendricks County Recycling 2025 budget ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion, second from Mr. Wicker. Any other discussion? All in favor, state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up is adoption of the Hendricks County 2025 budget ordinance.
Eric, for that one, I wanted to throw this out. I don't know if you guys remember this. Or you have your copy that I might use somewhere. As we just passed the minutes of our last meeting did state that we gave approval for the boards to come back to us with these figures, but we didn't relinquish our ability to approve these figures, and we didn't approve these figures. So I think we should probably have a motion to approve these figures and have them added, because I think, if I'm right, Nancy, you probably have the budget.
I think at the last meeting we did, didn't we?
Yeah, these numbers are in the, we're in the public
Because
hearing.
these numbers are
Yes.
posted in the budget by Hansky, so they're there, so that's not a problem. But we not only didn't, I don't think we can give these boards permission to just enact this. We have to act on it, and we didn't specifically approve these numbers. So I make a motion to approve them.
Okay, I thought we did. Okay, so we have a motion to approve the pay that is listed on this sheet that's part of the 2025 budget. Anybody like to make a second? I'll second it. Any other discussion?
Yeah, it's just that I don't think we can by law
Right.
give that power to
Right,
approve to
and I-
those boards.
Right.
We
I just-
we
I-
really need to add,
I thought we discussed that last
Yeah,
meeting.
I
I guess
thought we
not.
did.
we didn't have those figures.
All in favor, say so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries, thank you. So then, adoption of the 2025 budget ordinance 2024-44.
And those numbers were reflected in this budget, because I needed to advertise them.
I move the approval.
Motion from Mr. Hessen,
Second.
second from Mr. Wicker. Any other discussion? All in favor, say so by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Eric, a quick question.
Yes.
Nancy, what did that change from last year? You probably know that number on there.
Overall,
Yeah. I mean, did it increase by X amount of millions or so many percentages or something you have?
I think the final number in all the budgets was down 0.34%.
Down? All right.
So, and that's probably mainly because of the
ARPA.
major bridge. So we didn't reappropriate because John will
Okay.
encumber.
Hmm.
So that was a big lump sum.
John's taking one for the team.
He took one for the team.
All right. All right, thanks. We'll get you off the bench next game.
Next up is fiscal body. So our appointment to the County Health Board, Mr. David Harden is on Board of Health. His term ends December 31st. They are asking that they said he is knowledgeable and he does a good job on there, so they're asking for us to reappoint him.
So, Mr. President, I concur. I am the liaison to the health board, and Mr. Harden is always there and is always up to date with what's going on and extraordinarily competent. So I would move that he be reappointed.
Absolutely.
Moved by Mr. Hessen, second by Mr. Cox. All in favor, say so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0.
I'll just say thank you. Sorry.
I didn't see you over there, sorry.
No worries, no worries. I agree with all those comments. So thank you for reappointing
Glad
Mr.
you show
Arch.
up, Doc.
Yeah, no problem.
All right,
I'll let
thanks.
you guys get back to business. Thank you, guys.
So last week we had a ratings call and a couple other phone calls with our financial people, FSG, and they mentioned with our fund balances, it might make sense to do a buy down of our sheriff's pension liability. What this will do is take some of our money from one of our excess funds and put it in there to help reduce future liabilities. So a lot of counties are doing that now if they have the money to do it. So, do we come up with a number? Do you remember an answer? Or is it just,
He mentioned $1 million to $1.5 million
yeah?
pay down, but we have to have them run the numbers to see
Right.
what works best. But we haven't done that yet.
So I guess this is more just a temperature check to see if you guys want him to go ahead and look at that. So
Is there a
We've
set,
got the cash.
is there a set percentage, Eric?
he's looking at, they said $1 million to $1.5 million. They wanted to run the numbers to see what it would benefit over the long term, how much it would reduce our payments.
Let's not kick that can down the road.
Yep. So by consensus, you guys okay with moving forward with that?
Definitely.
All right, do you want to let them know or you want me to, Nancy?
I can.
Okay, thanks. Aaron Hughes, Human Resources Administrator.
Good morning, I've got two things on your agenda today. The very first one is to vote to increase the HRH wellness hours at the Danville location. At your last benefits meeting, there were some questions that you guys had asked Katie to take back to HRH, asking if maybe we could move some of the hours from another location to the Danville one instead of paying for additional hours. Currently, they said that we have a 90 to 100% utilization, so they are stating that there's no way to actually move anything. If we want to move those hours, it would increase our monthly bill to, the monthly increase would be 1,246.75 would be the monthly increase to each bill.
Yes.
About 15 grand.
And I think it makes sense, and if it doesn't get utilized, I think we can pull it back, but I think it will be, and if most of our employees are here.
I think we want to make sure that as many of our employees that want to take advantage have that opportunity. So I think it's a good move.
That's been our biggest complaint over time is Danville hours. So the last couple of years, people have wanted an increase there.
So so when we were having these discussions over email, I said, instead of waiting for our next meeting, we'd go ahead and just do it individually, each council and commissioners meeting, if that makes sense. So if anyone wants to make a motion to do this, we can do it, the commissioners can do it, we can have it on the books.
For this one?
Yeah.
I'm good. So moved.
So moved by Mr. Wyeth, second by Mr. Cox. All in favor, state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
And then the second one is for the auditor's office. Nancy might be able to better explain part of this. So in January, there's gonna be some shuffling up there, but before that, they've got right now some part-time spots. One of them, Janet Hassong is in, then they have another one that's been vacant. They're wanting to make that a full-time line, and get that person in and get them trained, so then that way, once the new auditor comes in, then they are ready to up and run. I'm sure I'm gonna mess this up, but.
It's from the auditor's plat book fund, so it's not, general fund money. We charge a fee for every deed that comes through, so I had 2 part-time positions. Thinking one of the people who was retiring may come back for part-time, and she did not, so I have the funding sitting there, it was appropriated to, change it to a full-time position, and then my part-time person would remain at 2 days. She's been here 15 years, she's a full-time, part-time person, a regular,
Regular full-time.
regular
part-time.
part-time person.
Loyal,
Yay.
I'm loyal
So,
person.
And there's already a job description because
yeah,
Janet,
same job description, same grade, no money increase in the grade. So it's basically creating a new deeds deputy. That's what it's officially.
You have funds on an ongoing basis for, is it gonna require monies?
It was funded next year for the 2 part-times, so
Okay,
it
so you're
will be
okay?
covered.
For at least a year?
Yep.
Okay.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wicker, second by Mr. Hessen. All in favor, state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
thank you.
Next up, we have opened a public hearing for additional appropriations. Looks like we have some for court administration, the auditor, just mostly attorney's fees and home detention fees, mostly courts, and then attorney's fees for the West Point reissuance of bonds, which will come out of bond proceeds. Anybody here like to speak on any of those additional appropriations?
Nancy, on the opioid, that's the thing with
Yeah, I might mention that.
We'll close the public hearing. All right, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
It's fine. Go ahead.
The opioid, we did not appropriate enough. They sent out this 18-year spreadsheet
Yeah.
that is in no way correct.
Sort
We
of a mess.
never know when the money's coming. It doesn't match the spreadsheet, so we still owe the original grantees from 2 years ago because we didn't get the money. So this just increases, we got enough money to pay them, so this just increases the appropriation, the permission to spend.
Okay.
So it, to 2038, so.
So do they continue to send out spreadsheets on what the future is gonna
They
be, or is
they
it still?
updated about, probably every 6 months they update it, but people go bankrupt, people pay early. They allow an early payment, this threw me off, they allowed an early payment that will come off the year 2027. Now, I'm sure we will recall that and be able to follow it. So it's just all over the place, it's just,
Okay.
it's money, but it's complicated.
Anybody like to make a motion?
Move the approval of items 1 through 6, additional appropriations.
A motion from Mr. Hessen,
Second.
second by Mr. Wicker. Any other discussion? All in favor, state so by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries 5-0. And then we have transfers. It's a bunch from facilities.
Contracts.
You want to talk to us, Jack? It looks like a lot of it's going from contractual services that you've changed.
Correct. With GSF coming on earlier in the year than at the beginning of the year, that line item was a little short, and our waste management also. So with our staff reduction, we're transferring those funds to pick up those other 2 line items.
thank you. Any questions for Jack?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And that number 8 is to accomplish what we just approved.
Yeah.
For the remainder of this year.
A motion approved 1 through 8.
We have a motion to approve 1 through 8 of transfers, Mr. Cox.
Second.
Second from Mr. Wicker. Any other discussion? All in favor, state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0. Nancy did pass out our status of funds, and this was actually one of the questions they asked us during the ratings call we were on. If we get this, if we see these numbers and where we're at during the whole year, I said, yep, every month we get them, so they were happy with that.
Yeah, I think they were pretty happy overall,
Oh, yeah.
we hope.
Yep, we'll get their numbers back here soon on that, and that's for the sale of the bonds for the highway department.
Who did you meet with, Fitch, Standard Poor's?
Was it S&P?
It was S&P.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to hear today.
Yeah, I think today.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah.
I've lost today, so,
And
yeah, we might hear.
Was Standard Poor's the one that gave us the credit rating of AAA, or was that
That
That's
Fitch?
Fitch, Fitch on the jail.
On jail, okay.
Greg clarified with us that each rating is per project.
Yes.
That's why it's different. And I kind of asked why we chose who, and he has his reasons, that's very valid.
All right, with that, is there anybody in the audience that would like to say anything? Quiet crowd today. Brad, you got anything?
I do not.
Ronnie, you have anything?
Other than, the lit adoption, we got word back from the DLGF that everything is good. On October 4th, Nancy got that letter, so we're good to go.
So we.
Well, they haven't approved, we don't have an order yet,
Okay, but
but they
they're
got,
okay with
they,
us
they got
reallocating all
everything.
the funds.
Yeah.
That's the deal from the jail that we made the adjustment on.
Yep. Okay, good. Anything for you, Mr. Wyeth?
But it's just dry. Be careful, be cautious. Look out for trick-or-treaters.
Mr. Hesson?
No, nothing.
Mr. Cox?
I passed it out to everybody, the youth advocate program has now expanded to its second entity, the Avon School Corporation. So that's, seems to be running pretty good already.
Thank you. Something I just kind of looked into myself. I know, we have a pharmacy benefit manager that, for the insurance, and I remember seeing somewhere rebates, and pharmacy benefit managers, if you know, I think ours is okay, they're pretty much evil. They,
You got that right.
But, so, what, I asked, what's the lady, our new lady's name with Apex?
Katie.
Katie looked into it, and we get about $45,000 to $50,000 a quarter back in rebates from the prescriptions that our people are buying. So what I asked her was, can we just give that cost savings to our employees? Discount the medicines, and she said, most of it, yes. And then whatever they can't go directly to the consumer, they would give us back. So I don't know, do we have another meeting this year? We don't? I mean, I think I would let her have our employees have cheaper copays for their drugs than us getting back that a little amount compared to how much our entire system, so I didn't know. We can put it on the next meeting and maybe make that change for next year. So I mean, I don't know, I just was bringing it up, to get your guys' thoughts to see if,
I completely agree. That's the savings along to the user.
right,
There's no money paid for
yeah.
pharmacy.
So you guys okay with,
I'm good.
so do we need to put that, on next month's agenda to like take action? And any of the commissioners be willing to consider doing that too at the next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yes.
Thinking about that way the money comes back, we do a calculation of a net calculation, so that does kind of benefit the employees.
Right, it does for sure.
So what we do it now is benefiting the employees.
Right.
So,
I mean,
but that directly would come off
More
the
directly benefit
pharmacy,
the
they would
user.
notice it more.
Yes,
Right.
exactly, yes.
Okay.
I just, yeah, I mean, and the reason why, so this is, the reason why they're evil is when plans aren't self-funded like we are, that goes back to the insurance carrier. So the insurance carrier's pharmacy benefit manager negotiates the price of the drugs, and then they get a kickback off the price of the drugs that they
I'm
negotiate.
sure they don't refer to it as a kickback.
A rebate. So that's why when you go to the pharmacy sometimes and you say, well, I use insurance, a drug will cost you $45, you say, I don't wanna use insurance, it costs $3. It's because they get, yeah. So this is just a way, I think, to make it help our employees out more. So, and then, like we said, we have ratings call, lasts a little over an hour. We answered all their questions. It's crazy, I guess, with the times, there's a lot of questions about cybersecurity.
Yeah, that was
A
big.
ton.
Cybersecurity was huge. Doug did a great job.
They did a great job. And we talked about possible development of the county and then our finances. And I think it went well. I mean, I don't know what they're listening for, but we all sounded like we knew what we're talking about, so.
You do.
And we can hope for AAA from S&P.
And then Nancy, you have anything?
Nope.
All right, am I making a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Wicker, second, Mr. Wyeth. All in favor, say so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thanks.
Nice time.